So you want to become smarter. Not I memorized 3 motivational quotes smart. Not I watched 1 documentary and now I'm an expert smart. Actually smart. Most of the world tells you the formula is simple. 12 years of school, 4 years of college, maybe a few more years collecting degrees like Pokemon cards. And at the end of it, you're either a genius or refreshing job boards with honors. But here's the good news. Becoming smarter is way less complicated than people make it sound. And no, it doesn't require perfect genetics, a photographic memory, or drinking mysterious green smoothies. When most people say they want to be smarter, what they really mean is they want valuable skills. They want to solve problems faster. They want better grades. They want to earn more money. They want to sound intelligent in conversations, but not so intelligent that people avoid eye contact at parties. The problem? The internet gives 2 kinds of advice. Type 1. Vague philosophy. Expand your consciousness. Detach from ego. Become one with the present moment. Great. I'll just transcend reality real quick. Type 2. Random brain hacks. Eat blueberries. Drink black coffee, listen to classical music, take cold showers, do Sudoku while balancing on one leg. I'm not saying those are useless, but at some point you actually have to learn things. Here's the real shortcut. Read. I know, revolutionary. But not just scrolling, not captions, not comment sections. Actual reading. Now the question becomes, what kind? Fiction is powerful. It builds vocabulary. It improves focus. It helps you understand emotions and people. If you read enough dialogue, you might even feel socially fulfilled for a few hours. But nonfiction is where you collect intellectual ammo. History, psychology, business, science, finance, mechanics, cleaning, cooking, whatever. The key isn't to memorize facts so you can say, well, actually, because nothing makes people dislike you faster than starting a sentence with, well, actually. Instead of correcting people like you're hosting a debate tournament, try this. Instead of, actually, humans didn't evolve from chimpanzees, say, I used to think that too, but I read that humans and chimpanzees evolved alongside each other. I thought that was pretty interesting. Same information, zero arrogance. Smart and likable is a better combo than smart and unbearable. Now here's where most people fail. They read and stop there. Reading alone doesn't make you smarter. Using what you read does. Your brain is efficient. If it thinks something is useless, it deletes it. That's why you can remember a random embarrassing moment from 8 years ago, but not what you studied last week. If you learn how to clean a room properly, clean a room. If you learn about budgeting, build a budget. If you learn about communication, test it in a real conversation. Action locks information in place. There's something called the 80-20 principle. Roughly 20% of the knowledge gives you 80% of the results. You don't need to master every detail to become competent. You need the core ideas and practice. Think about tying a tie. Nobody learned by watching a tutorial once and saying, ah, yes, I understand neck geometry. You learned by watching while actually tying it. Learning works the same way. But what if you can't practice immediately? Let's say you're reading about jump-starting a car, but you don't have 2 cars just sitting there waiting for your educational moment. Use mental simulation. Close your eyes and imagine the full process. Opening the hood, finding the battery, connecting the cables in the correct order, and starting the engine. When you vividly imagine doing something step by step, your brain treats it closer to experience than passive reading. The person who visualizes the process will remember more than the person who just stared at a diagram. This is also why tests exist. In school, you learn information that might not be useful for years. So what does the system do? It creates an artificial emergency, an exam. Suddenly, that information matters. Your brain says, oh, this affects survival. You remember it, at least until the test is over. Then your brain goes, cool, price is over, and deletes half of it. If you want to outsmart that system, create your own stakes. Don't just reread notes, answer questions. If there aren't practice questions, make them. Pretend there's pressure. Imagine someone says, explain this clearly in 60 seconds. That forces retrieval. Retrieval strengthens memory. Reading feels productive. Testing yourself actually works. And here's something underrated. Textbooks. They're not flashy, they're not entertaining, they don't have dramatic music in the background, but they're optimized for learning. Clear structure, core concepts, practice problems, minimal fluff. They're uncomfortable because they require effort, but effort is where growth hides. So if you want to become smarter, here's the simple formula. Pick a skill or topic that actually matters to you. Read high-quality material about it. Extract the core 20%, practice immediately, physically or mentally, test yourself often. Teach it casually and humbly in conversations. That's it. No magic berries required. Becoming smart isn't about collecting degrees or life hacks. It's about convincing your brain that what you're learning is useful and proving it through action. Do that consistently, and you won't just feel smarter. Other people will notice it too. And if this helped you upgrade your brain by at least 0.3%, consider upgrading the algorithm by subscribing. I promise no blueberries were harmed in the making of this video.